I believe in you. Got it.
Ha!
Okay. Hi everybody, welcome to Classics with a Quirk, where we talk about contemporary and luxury designer items and brands with a touch of silliness. If this is the kind of content that you find interesting, please do like this video and subscribe for more of it. But first of all, I have something very important to announce, and obviously something very obvious to announce. This is Caleb Snell from Caleb Snell's channel, Caleb Snell, and I'm very excited to be with him in his apartment for this video. This is super duper cool, and I'm kind of geeking out a little bit, not gonna lie. So today we're going to have a very interesting and fun video to talk to you about, and he's going to tell you all about it right now.
Yes, but before we get started though, I just have to say, watching you do your intro in real time,
Yes.
it's so weird, it's so cool. Anyway.
I talked too fast. I talked too fast this particular time, so that's okay. Hope that's okay. Hope that's fine. It's probably fine.
We're here for the ride, people, right? Anyway, yes, I'm super excited to have Corky here in our home, and today we're going to be discussing two very gorgeous bags, and I'm going to admit now, I'm just going to say it, I have major bag envy over what you've brought today. But today we're going to be comparing, contrasting, and talking about the history of two very famous bags, her Delvaux Brillant and my Hermes Kelly. And I am so excited to see how they match up. It's going to be like a battle royale.
Hopefully not a battle royale, because that's like
true.
only one is left standing, and I do like both of these bags.
I do, yeah. So no fighting today. Just a friendly
Compare and contrast.
comparison. Yes.
Compare and contrast. Maybe some pros and the cons. We'll talk about some really interesting facts and histories about both of these two amazing heritage houses, and hope that you enjoy.
Yes, 100%.
So if you aren't new to my channel, you probably have already seen this bag a couple of times before, because it is one of my favorites. I unboxed this last year. I took it to Italy with me last year. I just recently did a review about the bag itself. This is my Delvaux Brillant bag in the MM size. This is the Magritte edition, the Le Humeur bag that was done as an homage to Rene Magritte, the famous surrealist painter. And Caleb's bag is the Hermes Kelly in the 35 size in blue jean. We both are so happy to have these bags in our collections. Like, these are probably the crowning jewels of, you know, yeah, absolutely.
Hands down.
And we're going to just talk to you about like some of the things we really love and adore about these bags, and also the houses that made them. So some of you may or may not know, Delvaux was established in 1828, and they were billed as the oldest luxury leather good house to exist, period. Interestingly enough, Belgium became Belgium in 1830. So Delvaux is actually older than Belgium itself, which I think is really cool. They do serve Belgian royalty, and they are kind of like the house and brand of Belgium. Older than Belgium, I think that is very, very neat. And they're actually also older than Hermes. Hermes became Hermes in 1837, so Delvaux is a little bit older than Hermes as well. But the Kelly bag, even though it wasn't the first bag that Hermes invented, and the Brillant wasn't the first bag that Delvaux invented, the Kelly bag was invented before the Delvaux Brillant was. So the Kelly wasn't originally called the Kelly, though. It was originally called the Sac de Pêche, and it was invented in 1930. It became known as the Kelly bag in 1955, when Grace Kelly most famously used it to cover her baby bump during her pregnancy. In contrast, the Delvaux Brillant was actually invented for the 1958 Brussels World's Fair. So this was created specifically for that event, and then became one of the crowning jewels of Delvaux. The stylistic design of Delvaux was the first time that they had hardware and kind of symbolism, like the D symbolism, in one of their bags. So if you see the buckle here, it's kind of the stylized D buckle, and then also the handle as well. So those are both like parts of the Delvaux bag that symbolize Delvaux. They also have the little, like, this tiny little D fob here. That is also part of all of their Brillant bags. It's like just added in. So it's a fun little fact.
Yeah, and now that you mention that, the handle does really look like a D, because it's so much more stylized and exaggerated than the handle on my Kelly.
Yeah, a lot of the Delvaux bags have like D's in them. Like, for instance, the Coolbox Nano has a D like zipper pull that covers the side of the bag.
Okay.
The Lingot has also kind of a buckle that is a D shape. Like, all of their bags have like D's kind of hidden in them a little bit. Spot the Delvaux D sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about your Kelly.
So as you mentioned, yes, the Kelly first got its start as the Sac de Pêche. So this was a reimagined, they took a lot of the stylistic cues from the Haut à Quoi, which is basically like the big Birkin. Big Daddy Birkin. We love that for us. And so what you're going to see is a lot of the same style cues, like I said. So you're going to have the key clochette here, the lock on the tourette, the sangles. A lot of the Hermes iconography is here on the Kelly. Now, originally, yes, it was called the Sac de Pêche until, famously, Grace Kelly refused to give it back after To Catch a Thief. So she carried this bag in the film,
Oh,
and then at the
okay.
end of the filming, she would not give it back. Absolutely refused.
I didn't know that.
Right? It's fascinating. I love that film, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think there's also a lot of beautiful Dior gowns in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
they're-
The fashion in that, like period pieces, like especially period pieces of different periods. Like the fashion is very interesting.
It's up there. It's
Oh,
top
that's-
level.
She did, so she didn't give it back.
She refused to give it back.
That's so funny.
Carried it for the baby bump, and then shortly thereafter married Prince Rainier.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So then now we know it as the Kelly.
That's really cool. I like that little added tidbit. Like
Right.
actually, she was just like, "This is my bag."
This is mine. I
Kind of-
love that.
That's kind of what you're trying to do with my Brillant, which is.
A little bit, you guys. So if you make it back home and that's not in your luggage, well,
I think I will notice.
It's
I
safe
think
here.
perhaps. So an actually interesting thing about these bags too is the Kelly. This is the Kelly 35, right?
Yes, Kelly
so this is the
35
Kelly
centimeter.
35, and it's 35 centimeters across. This is the size. I believe it's 29 centimeters across. So it's closer to the 32, the 28 in terms of size, but in terms of like depth and dimension, they're both the larger bags.
yes.
So we have on this side here, you can see that this is a narrower bag than the Delvaux.
Much narrower.
The Delvaux is like a wider bag, and it also is a little bit taller too. It comes up a little bit higher, as is the handle. So this is a really good crook of the arm bag, especially if you're wearing a bulky coat or something. And then if you see on the bottom too, they both do have the feet. And they both do have like a little dangly, because you've got the clochette, and I've got like the tiny little charm
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They do have different straps though, but that's only because this is an older style Delvaux. So if you notice in the Kelly, they have the strap attachment on the sides here, and you can wear it as a shoulder bag, basically.
You can, yeah. It won't go crossbody.
It won't
but
go crossbody.
absolutely would go shoulder.
So the Delvaux bag, the new ones, have the same type of strap attachment where it attaches on the sides of the handle here and here. But because mine is an older one, they reimagined it in, I think, 2018, 2019. So the strap actually slides underneath the top of the bag. So if you'll see here, you just open it this way. Boop, boop, boop. It's a really easy open if you
Honestly,
know how you do it.
It looks easier than my Kelly, to be quite honest.
It is easier. Like that's the thing too. Like it looks really super fiddly, but
Yeah.
honestly, if you get into the hang of it, it's just like you can do it one-handed. Where
in and
I
out.
don't think you can open the Kelly one-handed. Like
No, because you've got to turn, and then you've got to pinch the side of the single that you're opening, flip it around the turret, and
Yeah.
no, you're not doing this one-handed.
yeah. So that is a little bit more convenient, I think,
It
in terms
is.
of being able to
Yes.
use it. And also the buckle does look like a deterrent for somebody who's like, what if I try to open that? Actually, never mind. I'm not going to try to open that.
I'm not even going to try.
Back to the strap though really
Yes.
quick. So it actually, there's a piece of leather here, if you can see
Oh,
that.
wow, yeah, it just feeds right
So the
through.
strap just feeds right through. And then I like that. I think it looks much more elegant with the strap underneath the top as opposed to like attached to the top like the
Yeah.
new styles and like the Kelly does. But the thing is that I carry this bag so often just by the crook of the handle that I barely use the strap. So it mostly just stays like in its dust bag in my bag, and I don't use it. So
No.
it doesn't really matter how I wear it that way.
Yeah, no, before we started filming, actually, you guys, I was trying this on in my full-length mirror.
Having a delightful
It
time.
was a delightful Delvaux time, actually. And honestly, like the way that the handle is structured, I couldn't imagine ever wanting to really put that on my shoulder. Quite
Yeah,
honestly.
it comes up kind of high.
Yeah.
It's easier to use that way too. It doesn't like bump into your ribs that way.
No, I absolutely agree. Like the Kelly, you can still, I'm wearing a big sweater today, you guys, but if I wasn't, I could still get it on the crook of the arm, but this is definitely more easy to crook of arm.
Yeah. So in terms of the buckle, we already talked about that a little bit. We've got the big stylized D buckle here, but it's actually pretty easy to open. I can do that one-handed, no problem. We just lift up the tongue this way. And then this metal pull on the bottom like kind of flops out, especially as the tongue gets a little bit more loose and floppy over time.
Yeah.
And it just pulls up like that.
So easy.
Whereas if we try to open your Kelly,
Oh boy, I'm going to
mean-
try and do this on camera.
Okay,
So,
well,
good luck,
let's
right?
see.
So you have to pinch this side a little bit
Okay.
to lengthen the single. Opposite side as well.
all right.
Aye. And then you go up. You have to get around the single.
Yes.
Flip the key clochette. It is a process, you guys. But the interior is a gorgeous Mysore goatskin leather.
Yes.
Which is, I mean,
It's very nice. I
it's-
love the sheen on your Kelly. It's a very pretty color.
It's a beautiful sheen. It's a beautiful texture, nice to the touch. Now, pocket-wise, I have 2 slip pockets and a zipper. What does your Brillant have?
Oh, okay. So I just closed it really fast. I'm going to open it really fast. Okay.
See?
So I have a zipper in the back right here.
Oh, nice.
Zipper. And then boop, boop, boop.
Beautiful.
And then I have a little pocket on this side.
Okay.
with a
Oh, and I
snap.
like that it has the tab. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the tab in here. And I also have, let's see,
Is that a slip pocket in the back too? Oh, and a key holder.
I have a little key ring here.
Wow.
That goes in for your keys or
And
your
again,
wallet.
the stylized D for the Delvaux.
And then it does have like just like a little slip pocket. And in the slip pocket is the Delvaux mirror.
Oh, you guys, you know I love a good mirror with my bag.
So it's kind of like a lipstick mirror. It's very small, but it's got Delvaux embossed in the back of it, just like that. Nice little addition.
Yeah.
So when you purchase a Delvaux bag, a Brillant, you get a little mirror as well as the strap and the like, little charm and stuff. Yeah.
That is a lot. It's nice when especially at these price points, the more you can get with the bag.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, speaking of price points, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes,
And
let's
also a
dive
little
in.
bit about how you acquire these bags, because they're slightly different in terms
different.
of how you're able to acquire this. So, for instance, if I wanted to buy a Delvaux Brillant, even one in the special humor edition, what I could do, it's kind of difficult, is I go to a Delvaux boutique and I ask for one. And then they say, yes, we have one in stock, and then they let me buy it. Or if they don't have it in stock, they can source it from other boutiques, and then they let me buy it. Or if they don't have one in stock right now, they say, we will take your information, like they'll take your number, we will contact you in the event that it comes in stock, and then they do contact you if it comes in stock, and then they let you buy it.
But unlike Hermes, they're actively trying to find it for you.
Yeah, they are also trying to source the bag. Yeah, I actually recently had a friend, Lula LV, actually. So she recently got a Delvaux bag. I'm not going to reveal what it is because that might be a surprise.
Okay.
But she had, on the website, she put in her information saying, like, just let me know when it comes back in stock. And the sales associate actually called her when to let her know that, like, he had one in his boutique, would she be interested? It was like a very personal experience.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, they have wonderful customer service experience, wonderful boutique experience. They generally want people to love their bags and wear them and cherish them and have a good time with them. So
Without all the games.
yeah. I mean, that is something to be said for Hermes. There is the Hermes game and the Hermes journey. So, why don't you expound on that a little bit?
Yes, I have some experience with the Hermes journey. However, I did mine slightly different. So with Hermes, as you know, there's two different ways that you can acquire one. You can either get one through store if you're incredibly lucky. You have to, of course, now, the idea is back in the day there was like a wait list and who you were.
I know of people who got bags off of the wait list.
Yeah.
And in certain countries, I believe there still is a wait list for those countries.
Yes.
But it's different for different places.
Yes, so here in the state we play the Hermes game where you have to go in and buy from different categories of products.
Hermes bait.
Hermes bait is what we call it. And so that could be shoes, it could be cosmetics. And you need to do that while also building a relationship with your client advisor. And then, and only once you've spent like the equivalent 1-to-1 ratio, will you be offered the Kelly Birkin or the third quota bag, the Constance.
Or more. I think it's more than the 1-to-1 sometimes now, isn't it?
It can be,
It
in
can
some
be like
cases.
1-to-2, 1-to-3.
Which is...
So you're the price of the bag, and then the price of the bag, and then the price of the bag, and then you're given permission to buy the bag if they have the bag that you want in the colors and sizes
or something close to
that you're looking for.
You could say I want Nata, and they might offer you Cray.
Right. Or you might say that I want like a 28 and they have like a 32 or something.
Yes. So unlike Delvaux, where you can like know what you want to get, walk in, purchase it, or have them source it for you.
Yeah.
At Hermes, it's kind of luck of the draw on what they're going to let you buy.
Yeah.
Now, the second route, and that's the route I went, love that for me, was the pre-owned route. So originally, if you're not familiar with my channel, check it out. Like Corky said, Caleb Snell.
Please
I'm on
do.
Here.
I will link his channel below and also a video that is fun. I will link the Hermes Kelly unboxing video.
Yes, okay.
I'll link that boxing video. So
that goes into a little more detail.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. So
Brilliant idea.
I love it. So with my journey, this came up, and if you're familiar with my channel, then you know I love my top handle, my peekaboos, my .com.
Yes.
Like this is Caleb Snell to a T. This
very
style,
much so. Yeah.
Which is why I love that so much. But she sent this over to me. We hemmed and hawed, went back and forth for a few weeks at least, and then finally, I was close enough, and I was like, you know what? I've always wanted a blue jean. This one is in excellent condition. I think it's a 2011, 2012. I can't remember, but
didn't you see it at the Real Real? Like
yes,
you went?
yeah. So before the Real Real here closed in Chicago, I was able to actually go in. They brought it in person.
I'm so sad they're closed.
I know, it's a bummer. So I went in and I purchased this. And of course, if you purchase pre-owned or even if you purchase brand new Hermes through a reseller, go to Baba Baby. Maybe link her in the description down below.
Yeah,
or her
yeah.
contact.
I mean, she's at the forefront, most authenticator of Hermes.
The face of authentication.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would trust no one else other than Baba Baby personally. So she'll ask you to send in I think it's 21 to 24 photos. It's a lot, but I mean this is a big purchase. So
I mean, for any authentication, if you're authenticating Chanel, you need to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
A lot of photos of every single detail.
4 pictures and a close-up of the label isn't going to authenticate.
No. I remember you holding your breath until you got her.
I didn't allow myself to get excited. We're driving home. We live right outside Chicago. We're driving home. I'm not going to allow myself to get too excited that I just bought a Kelly until I know for a fact. So typically she says 24 or 48-hour turnaround time. I think I got an answer within hours, quite honestly.
Yeah, it was fast.
It was fast.
You were just confetti, it's a Kelly.
Yes, it's real. And then I allowed myself to get excited. But honestly, this is one of the best pieces in my collection. And what I love so much about Hermes, and they'll say it themselves, luxury, it's luxury in the fact that it can be repaired.
Yeah.
And Hermes has some of the most wonderful after-sales care of all the houses. So they have what we call the spa. You'll send your bag off. You'll take it in for consultation. They'll look it over, and then they'll take a look at what you want to get repaired, and they'll also make recommendations on what should be repaired.
Okay.
Give you a price list, and then you can kind of select from that menu, oh, I would like to have the reglazing done, but we can skip the touching up of the corners this time.
Gotcha.
And you can kind of make it your own experience if you want.
I see, okay,
What does Delvaux do?
So Delvaux actually also has an aftermarket, after-service repair system.
Okay.
You basically contact the boutique, especially they have a hotline or an email contact service.
Okay.
You say I'm interested in aftermarket repair, and then they will kind of walk you through how that will go for you. Delvaux only has 3 boutiques in the US. And so sometimes they have you ship it to that boutique, especially if you're out of state, the closest boutique to you, and then they'll take care of you from there, basically. If you live in a country or a state that has a Delvaux actually in it, you can go in person and start going through that process that way. Yeah.
So I think Delvaux is in New York, California?
Yeah, New York and California. I believe they have 2 locations in New York and then 1 location in California. And so if I was going to contact Delvaux for an aftermarket sales service, I'd be contacting them probably through their website.
Yeah.
And then they might direct me to the New York boutique because that's closer to me. Depending.
Absolutely.
I've never had to get something from Delvaux repaired personally. And it is actually kind of hard to find information about Delvaux in a way that it isn't hard to find information about Hermes, because Hermes is so much more popular and so much more known, especially in social media, that you can just Google it, or there'll be videos on YouTube how this works, how the after sales spa works, all that sort of thing. Whereas Delvaux, it is a much quieter luxury brand. It's not as well known in general. It's certainly not in the media. You don't hear people rapping about their Delvaux bag as opposed to their Birkin bag.
Exactly.
And also I believe Hermes has 12 million subscribers or followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Delvaux has under 350,000.
Which I am now one of.
Oh, yeah.
I followed them last
Excellent, very
night,
good.
yes.
They've been starting to post their fall-winter collection. Delvaux only has 2 collections a year, a spring, summer, and a fall-winter. So
unlike Chanel and their 12.
Chanel in their 12, Louis Vuitton in their 36.
Oh my, no joke.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. So in terms of just being well known and finding more information out about the brand, that's kind of one of the reasons why I've been wanting to make more videos about Delvaux, is because there isn't much information out there.
No.
And also not a lot of information in English. Delvaux is more known in Asia as a popular brand. You'll see more videos on YouTube in Chinese, in Korean, in Japanese than you will in English. But yeah, I'm really interested in continuing to make videos about Delvaux and sort of sharing that with kind of the world, the YouTube world. And it's such a beautiful brand with such a rich heritage and history. As we said, it's been around for so long. Their bags are beautiful. They're impeccable. The quality is exquisite. And I love the thought that goes into them. I talk a little bit more about the thought that goes behind each bag in my previous video, so I'll link that one for you as well, above and below. But just so much thought. Here's a fun little thing that I know about the bag, is that you'll notice here there are these metal bits.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked about this in my video. There's these metal bits right here. And they are to prevent wear on the corners and to prevent wear on the flat from opening and closing it. It was just this little detail that...
And they're also in the D shape from the profile.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So
I love Easter eggs.
It's so cool how much was... this was engineered for the Brussels World Fair, but...
And speaking of quiet luxury, I don't know if all bags are like this, but unlike the Kelly, which the stamp underneath is done in the same as the metal, the gold or the palladium, this here is blind stamped. And then it's also stamped again here inside the buckle.
Yeah, it is. So there's a little
Wow.
tiny stamp in here inside the buckle. There's also the made in stamp is right here.
Oh, beautiful. Made in
Right
France.
right on top of the zipper. And that differs for different bags and also differs from when the bag was made. So this is a slightly older bag. Delvaux bags are only made in France or in Belgium. And so mine is a made in France bag. And that is just kind of another hallmark of the brand. It is actually really interesting because Delvaux, while it is a quiet luxury brand, it's very understated. They only make their bags in 2 places from trained artisans that have been with them for many, many years. Delvaux is actually not privately owned like Hermes is.
Okay.
So Hermes is a privately owned company. It is owned by, I believe, the Dumas family, and it has been since their birth, basically.
Yeah.
Now, Delvaux was originally privately owned, but it was sold to Richemont in, gosh, I think the mid-2000s, something like that.
That's Van Cleef, right?
Yeah, Richemont. And there was some rumors floating around that LVMH was interested in buying them out, which most of us who are fans of Delvaux desperately hope that they do not to do.
Please don't.
But Richemont has been doing an okay job with marketing the brand and keeping the brand alive. They don't, I believe, currently have a creative director though, so we've been kind of like waiting to hear about that.
Okay.
Like they've got teams, but they don't have like a person in charge of that sort of thing.
Like a big head.
Right.
Big name.
Yes, not currently. So we'll see what happens with that. Definitely, we'll see what happens with the LVMH thing. But I don't want to spread any rumors, so that's like very alleged, alleged. But we've been hearing that go around. So
now I will say though, everyone knows Hermes. It has a huge cult following. Delvaux doesn't have that following, like you mentioned. Like no one's rapping about their Delvaux or really talking about it.
It's hard to rhyme.
That's true. Yeah. What would you rhyme Delvaux with? But what I love though is the quality though it's impeccable. It is truly top tier.
Yes, absolutely.
It's I love that it's kind of a secret almost, but it's beautifully constructed.
Well, this is Delvaux's box calf leather. So Delvaux has a variety of leathers. This is their box calf. It's a smooth leather, and it is different from Hermes's box calf.
It is.
So they're both calf. They're young cows, but they're completely different. They're differently treated and sort of thing like that. It's got a very velvety texture, very smooth velvety
almost.
texture. Yeah, but
It's absolutely stunning.
I know. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, your Kelly is beautiful.
Well, thank you. I try.
I'd be really interested to know what you guys think, though. Are you Team Delvaux or Team Hermes Kelly? Have you not heard about one or the other, and now you're interested in them more? Is there one that you'd like to know more information about? I would definitely recommend checking Caleb's videos out. He's going to be making more videos about his Kelly. He's made some very good videos about the Kelly already, so please check out his channel. I'd love to know what you think about the Delvaux or just Delvaux as a brand, because it is, as we've said, much less known under the radar brand. I would call it like kind of quiet luxury, understated luxury, which is, I think, getting a little bit more popular now. Like people are talking about more understated luxury. Been starting to hear people talk about or discover Delvaux more and more now, which I'm not mad about, but like I want it to still retain like the dignity of the brand. You know, I think that there's something to be said about a brand having a little less hype about it, and having like a quiet dignity, which I think Delvaux does very, very well. Other than that, though, I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I had a really good time. I had a blast. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. I'm in your apartment. I'm in your safe space. We are
space.
right here. I'm currently on the couch.
On the couch.
I'm on the couch, and that was super duper fun. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for being a part of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please leave a comment down below. It super duper helps the algorithm, and subscribe for more videos like this one, because it helps the algorithm even more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
And scary fact, I don't know if you remember this, but the night before we were to go in, someone actually put this in their cart.
Oh, I didn't. I don't remember that.
Yeah. So even though they have it at the store waiting for me, if someone else goes in, they'll hold it for 24 hours, but before the 24 hours started, someone went in, put it in their cart, and it stayed in their cart for 15 minutes, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss out.
Because the real, if you put it in your cart, you can hold it for 15 minutes, and then if you buy it in 15 minutes, it's yours.
It's yours.
So.
Yeah, so I was freaking out. I almost thought about like just like constantly like staying up all night, just like putting it in my cart until the next morning.
I can see that. I can see you doing that though.